Yo, what's up with it, y'all? It's JD, Travelsthenix, and I'm back with another quick video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a topic that's super important when it comes down to weight loss or gaining weight if you're somebody who's trying to gain weight. And that topic is going to be about your basal metabolic rate, otherwise known as your BMR, and also it's going to be about eating at a caloric deficit if you're trying to lose weight, or eating in a caloric surplus if you're trying to gain weight. And we're going to be going over what these terms actually mean. Now, before we get into the video, if you're interested in travel, fitness, and overall growth content, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you can get updated every time I drop new content. Now let's get back into the video. Now, first and foremost, let's talk about what your BMR, your basal metabolic rate, is. That's basically the amount of calories that your body is going to need to maintain its weight without doing any exercise. Just think of your body as a car, and you're just sitting in idle, and that's the amount of gas that your body's going to need in order to keep that car running in idle. So for me personally, I checked out what my BMR is online. You can Google basal metabolic rate, and they have all different types of calculators that you can use online. And I looked at mine, and my basal metabolic rate is 1,800 calories. So that means that if I don't work out, I don't do anything, I'm just extremely sedentary, I basically just sit in this chair all day long and just use my computer or whatever I'm going to do, watch TV or whatever that may be. 1,800 calories is the amount of calories that I need to intake to maintain my weight. I'm 6 feet tall, I'm 180, 185 pounds, usually between there, and I'm 35 years old. So those are pretty much the factors that they use. They're not going to be spot on with your basal metabolic rate, but they'll give you a pretty good ballpark figure. And I'll leave the link in the description to the website that I actually use to find out my basal metabolic rate, or the ballpark figure, which is my basal metabolic rate. Now, depending on how active you are or how sedentary you are, is going to be the determining factor on how many calories that you can intake during a given day to maintain the weight that you're at right now. So for instance, if you're somebody who's only burning about 500 calories per day, that's fairly sedentary. If you're only burning 500 calories per day, that means you're probably just doing maybe a small workout and maybe just some walking around. You burn 500 calories per day, you add that to your basal metabolic rate. So let's say, for instance, myself personally, I'm only burning 500 active calories per day. That means I take that 1,800 calories, I add 500 calories to that, that leaves me with 2,300 calories. That means I can eat 2,300 calories if I want to stay around 180 to 185. Now let's say, for instance, I'm living an active lifestyle, which I do, and typically I would say on days that I work out, I usually burn anywhere from 1,500 calories to 1,800 calories. So I take 1,500 calories or I take 1,800 calories, and I add that to the already 1,800 calories that I'm allotted to eat for the day, and that gives me 3,300 calories or 3,600 calories, which is a lot of calories, but I do eat a lot of food, to be honest with you. Now, if I'm looking to cut weight or if I'm looking to gain weight, there'd be two separate things that I would want to do. If I'm looking to cut weight, I'm going to eat at a caloric deficit, meaning I'm going to eat fewer calories than the combination of my basal metabolic rate and the calories that I burn during the day. Now let's say I'm trying to slim down. If I burn 1,500 calories in a day, that gives me 3,300 calories to play with. So if I want to cut a little bit of weight, I can consistently eat around 2,800 calories, maybe 3,300 calories, and that would actually put me at a fairly big caloric deficit. That'll put me at a caloric deficit of either 300 to 500 calories per day. Now, if I do this over time, eventually I'm going to lose a significant amount of weight because I'm burning a lot more calories than I'm actually taking in. So let's just say on a 1 week span, you eat at a caloric deficit of 300 calories per day. You multiply 300 times 7, that's 2,100 calories per week that you're eating at a caloric deficit. These numbers will compound over time, and you'll end up dropping the weight that you want to drop. For myself in particular, I'm not necessarily looking to lose weight or gain weight. So for me, I usually just try to ballpark the amount of calories that I eat per day along with the amount of calories that I'm burning per day. And I honestly don't really give it too much thought because it's kind of like clockwork the way that my eating habits are. and when I eat my normal foods for the day and I don't like go out to eat or do anything like that, I pretty much stay within my lane. Now let's say I'm trying to do the opposite. Let's say I want to gain a little bit of weight. Let's say I'm trying to gain weight to be a bodybuilder. I'm trying to gain weight because I'm playing some type of sport that requires me to put on a little bit more muscle mass. What I want to do in that situation is I would want to be eating at a caloric surplus. So let's just say I'm burning an additional 1,800 calories per day on top of my basal metabolic rate. That puts me at 3,600 calories. Now if I want to eat at a caloric surplus and I want to gain weight, I'm going to try to intake about 4,000 calories per day, maybe 4,100 calories per day. Now, if I'm eating at a caloric surplus of 400 calories per day, and you compound that over a week, over a month, you can only imagine how much more weight that you're gonna put on your body. Now, when it comes to eating at a caloric deficit or a caloric surplus, I don't recommend that you just go crazy on eating at a caloric surplus if you're trying to gain weight, and I also don't recommend that you go crazy on starving yourself and eating at a caloric deficit if you're trying to lose weight. Because at the end of the day, we want to be realistic. Some people are hard gainers. The people who are hard gainers tend to be people who don't really have a big appetite. So when you already don't have a big appetite and you're trying to eat at a caloric surplus, you don't want to just force feed yourself food, because it's going to leave you with an uncomfortable feeling throughout the day. So instead of trying to go into a caloric surplus by 1,000 calories per day, you might just want to go into a caloric surplus by about 200, 300 calories per day. And the same people who are trying to lose weight. Most of the time, people who are trying to lose weight, the reason why they're overweight in the first place is because they eat too much. And that's because they have a big appetite. So you don't want to starve yourself, because it's going to feel like punishment. So you can't go from needing to eat 2,500 calories per day and then you want to lose weight. You're not actually very active, and then you're starving yourself and only eating 1,500 calories per day. That's too big of a deficit. So if you're somebody who's trying to lose weight, you want to go into a caloric deficit that's sustainable. And if you're somebody who's trying to gain weight, you're going to want to go into a caloric surplus that's sustainable. My recommendation is, if you're trying to lose weight, maybe go 200-300 calories below what your caloric intake is for the day, and along with lots of exercise, lots of cardio. And if you're somebody who's trying to gain weight, then you want to go into a caloric surplus, but maybe just make it 200-300, maybe 400 calories per day if you're comfortable with that. At the end of the day, when it comes down to losing weight or gaining weight, we don't want to go on extreme diets. We don't want to do extreme things. We don't want to go on extreme fasts, anything like that. We want to do things that are gradually consistent. I believe that gradual consistency beats extreme diets any day of the week. That's just my perspective. If you've watched my channel and if you've seen some of my videos in the past, you can see that there was a point in my life, maybe about 3 years ago, where I was extremely unhealthy. I didn't know anything about caloric deficits or caloric surpluses. I also didn't know anything about basal metabolic rates. So me not having that knowledge is what was holding me back from reaching my fitness goals and my health goals. So I hope this information can help you guys out as far as knowing your basal metabolic rate, knowing how many calories you guys are burning throughout the day, and trying to keep a ballpark estimate of how many calories that you guys are intaking every single day. Now, there's a few different tools that I recommend for all of these things. They have a app called MyFitnessPal, I think, and that helps you track your food. One thing that I recommend that you definitely get as far as tracking your calories burned is, I would recommend, if you got the budget for it, I would recommend that you get an Apple Watch. Apple Watch has a lot of good tools in terms of fitness, tracking your heart rate, tracking your calories burned. You can set a lot of fitness goals on there, a lot of good stuff with that. Now, if you want to go the more economical route, I'll recommend that you get a Fitbit. Fitbit has a bunch of different options when it comes to their smartwatches. You can get something on the cheaper end, or you can go up to their top tier end, which is basically getting the same thing as an Apple Watch. Just a little bit cheaper, actually. And I think it's probably just as good. So if you're losing weight, I recommend that you get some type of a tool where you can track your calories burned every single day. And also, if you're somebody who has a hard time understanding the amount of calories that you're intaking, I would recommend that you go ahead and download that MyFitnessPal app. Also, Another simple way of doing it, and this is the way that I actually track my calories. I don't track my calories actually, but this is the way that I give myself a ballpark estimate, is I just read the nutritional facts on the back of everything that I eat. If I'm eating some meat, I'll look at the nutritional facts on that. If I'm eating a bag of chips, I'll look at the nutritional facts on that. If I'm eating some produce, I'll go online and I'll find out the nutritional facts on the type of fruits and vegetables that I'm eating. That way I know an estimate of how many calories are in all the things that I'm eating per day. So then subconsciously, I can be calculating all these calories throughout the day. Anyways, you guys, if you guys have any more questions when it comes down to basal metabolic rate, caloric intake, or diet, you can go ahead and hit me up on Instagram. That's at Travelsthenix. Or you can just leave a comment below. Actually, I prefer that you guys leave some type of a comment below on this video as well, if it's helpful, if you guys want to hear more content like this. Also, you guys, if you're interested in a personalized diet program or personalized body weight training program, go ahead and hit my website up. That's Travelsthenix.com. Or you can hit me up on Instagram. That's at Travelsthenix. Or you can email me. That information will be in the description box below. I'll holler at you guys later. I hope everybody's having a great day. Peace.